Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Somewhere in time. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
I'm going to show you a clip, and I want you to describe what you see, okay?
Okay, so I see where there's a zebra, and there's a woman, looks like she's on a cell phone.
Yes, she does. Strange, right? Considering...
Oh, well, it was the old days, so it might have been the iPhone, too.
Oh, just the two?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for her, you know?
It's like technology has come a long, long way.
It's true. Well, what you just saw, we'll start with the facts for now, was a short piece of footage from the extras section of a Charlie Chaplin DVD, specifically the Charlie Chaplin Collection Volume 2. You're listening to this, so I'm going to describe exactly what Jason saw. It's a moment at the premiere of Chaplin's 1928 film The Circus at the historic Grauman's Chinese Theater. There's a big kind of statue of a zebra to promote the film, and behind it people are walking. One woman in particular walks by, kind of aware of the camera. This woman is unlike the rest. Why? Because it appears, back in the year of our Lord 1928, that as she walks by, she's having a conversation on a small, sleek, modern cell phone. A strange piece of tech, a surrealist misunderstanding, or perhaps a figure from the future caught on tape? Today on Ghost Town, we're discussing what people call Chaplin's time traveler. All time traveling aside, it's important to note that the production on The Circus was notoriously difficult for Chaplin, which made the premiere more of a triumph, a moment to be celebrated and perhaps to be seen. Premiering, like I said, in 1928, the film is a silent romantic comedy written, produced, directed by, and starring Charlie Chaplin. The film isn't exactly reinventing the wheel. The ringmaster of a down-and-out circus hires Chaplin's iconic little tramp character as a clown, but discovers the tramp isn't really much of a performer. In fact, he's only really funny unintentionally. Filming, which began on January 11th, 1926, was one of the most difficult experiences of Chaplin's life. In the first month of filming, it was discovered that film negatives had been scratched, which had to be investigated and corrected, and the whole thing set everything back. Amongst extended litigation with the IRS and his second wife, Lita Gray, he had also been in and out of court. Heartbreakingly, Chaplin's mother, Hannah, was also on the decline and needed constant care. And then, in September, Chaplin Studios burned down. Not a great run, not a great time. But the majority of the film was completed in November of 1926, and though Chaplin's bitter divorce proceedings delayed the film's finish until 1927, it premiered on the West Coast on January 27th at the Grauman's Chinese Theater, to great acclaim. The Circus was the seventh highest grossing silent film in cinema history, taking in more than $3.8 million. Charlie Chaplin was originally nominated for 3 Academy Awards for the film: Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Writing for an original screenplay. But the Academy actually took Chaplin out of the running for the Oscars by giving him his own special award, quote, for writing, acting, directing, and producing The Circus. I guess good for the other nominees. It was a different time. But all of this brings us back to that fateful premiere date on January 27, 1928. Not many premieres were recorded then, and if they were, not much footage survived over the decades. And certainly, of the footage to stand the test of time, I would imagine there's just a very small, very teeny tiny fraction of that showed innocuous background and movement in a moment that doesn't even include Chaplin. here we are. Footage of the premiere was stored, and eventually the circus was preserved by the Academy Film Archive in 2002 and released on Blu-ray and DVD sets, along with film trailers and extra footage from the production. And in 2011, a YouTube video called Chaplin's Time Traveler was released by an obscure Irish production company based on this old premiere footage. And from many points of relative obscurity and chance, a bona fide conspiracy theory was born. More after this break.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Hey, everybody. It's been a while
Hello.
since we've chimed in the middle of an episode.
Yeah, did you miss us? No? Okay.
Well, we got a good review. So we got one good review.
One good review.
And I wanted to acknowledge and share it, if that's okay with everybody.
Well, do you have your consent? I'll take silence as a yes.
The best 5 stars.
I love it already.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Jason. Just wanted to reach out and tell you how much I love your show and all the work you put into it. I so appreciate how often you guys drop new episodes, and it always makes my day. I've been listening to you since the very beginning, and I find the tone that you set is so unique to this particular genre. It's a special kind of art form to tell dark stories without ever being too grim. That's a breath of fresh air for someone who listens to a lot of podcasts in this particular genre. Yours is by far my favorite. You're funny and likable, and I love when you talk about the governors, and which we don't really anymore.
We don't anymore.
So that's, the first
I'm sorry.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
The glory days. Those are
the glory days.
For those that don't know, it took breaks in the middle, and we talked about the patrons and our we have a Patreon, patreon.com/ghosttownpod. Check it out. You won't be listening to anything like this or any ads when you subscribe to the Patreon for $2 a month.
Could be better. Could be better than this.
And I dig the interaction between you two when there is some. Rebecca, I enjoy the way you read stories. So smart and like a friend is talking to you. It just feels like you're telling us a great story while we're in a booth of Fred 62.
Wow, an old, boring friend hanging out.
Listen, you got into Fred 62. It's pretty good.
That's true. That's true.
When I tell other people about the show, I say it's a true crime scene through the lens of a Los Feliz Silver Lake POV. And by that, I mean cool. You hear that?
Oh my God.
I think the cool part's directed towards me.
I think I love you.
Yeah. Please keep up the good work. There are so many out here who are not commenting, but who love the show so much. Thank you for everything you do. Not Jason Horton. It's weird. It's not me. It's what we know about who wrote this. It is not me.
Definitely not you.
No, it's signed FJH.
Who are you, FJH?
Yeah.
Contact me, FJH.
So we can thank you, but we're very, very thankful.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's nice to get a little recognition. It's a labor of love, of course.
And we started a little video component on our Instagram and TikTok, which is Ghost Town Pod. Make sure to check that out.
Check that out. It's only money. You want young, cool Silver Lake?
Like air horn.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I will be doing a couple of stand-up comedy shows. If you want to come say hi to me, I will be in Ojai on May 22nd, 7 p.m., Ojai Underground. If you want to get on, I'll get you a ticket. If for some reason you're in Ojai and want to go, message me on Instagram, the Jason Horton. Otherwise, I will be in Los Angeles on May 25th, Memorial Day.
Wow.
At the Offbeat Bar, and that is a free show, but you can RSVP. Just go to my Instagram, the Jason Horton, and I have other dates, but those are the only two I want to mention right now.
Very exciting. What a nice little boost, like middle of an episode boost. I hope we get to do more of these. Please leave us reviews.
Yeah, please, 5 stars. Leave us reviews.
No less than 5 stars, please.
Yeah.
No more than 5 stars, though.
Yeah, please. If you try to leave 6 stars,
it's going to be weird.
It's going to be weird. Oh, you want to go back in time?
So most of the discourse on this moment at the Chinese theater is hosted by one random YouTube video called Chaplin's Time Traveler. The video was posted to a YouTube by Yellow Fever Productions, bad name, not a good name, a now defunct Belfast film production company, at least according to their online presence. It was shared in 2011 and looks very 2011. Grainy, guy in a Jackie Chan ringer shirt. He's got a bad movie poster behind him. It's like every guy I went to college with. This is by far the most popular video on their channel, which is mostly original content by the production company. In Chaplin's Time Traveler, producer George Clark, the bald guy in the Jackie Chan ringer tee, explains how he acquired a Chaplin DVD set and discovered the scene in the extras section of the set, as we described earlier in this episode. He, of course, wonders about the woman with an object on her face. His conclusion is that it's an example of time travel, or something like it, because it looks like a cell phone, but he's not confident in this conclusion, and understandably so. Quote, "It's just unexplainable," Clark says in the video. "I'm stumped, completely stumped. If any of you have any queries on this or ideas as to what this could be, please leave a comment and tell me what it is." Oh, and people do. Do you have any thoughts on what this might be before we get into some theories?
There's a reasonable explanation.
Something reasonable. Something not time travel-y.
Something covering up your face, or just something people did. I don't know.
You don't know. You know it's not a rip in the time-space continuum. Yes. Definitely not.
Yes.
Well, you're not alone. Okay, so this YouTube channel is the hub of where the idea became a conspiracy and brought it into the public consciousness. Why? Because the video has 7 million views and nearly 30,000 comments. So that's why, even though now a lot of other people cover this phenomenon, this is the channel that the discourse happens with. People were talking about it back in 2011 when the video was first posted, and as recent as a couple weeks ago. Theories on what's going on with the woman at the premiere in these comments and in other corners of the internet fall into a couple of categories. Let's start with the obvious, that it's just a mistaken object. Says John Barry 5275, "Is there any chance that the woman was aware that a camera was filming, and like many people, she simply wanted to hide her face because she didn't want to be on camera? For that obscure reason, maybe she chose to hold her hand next to her face while also holding an object in a simple attempt to hide her identity from the camera." Okay, pretty reasonable, right? Some believe she's holding something to her face like a device for better hearing or a radio or some type of technology of the time and discuss that as an option. Says Night13TH, maybe it's a small radio box and she's listening to her favorite station or whatever the hell they used to listen to back then. Says Michael Osborne in a Facebook comment, "It's one of the Jebediah Dole's early test models of a person-to-person linking device. You put it to your ear and aim it at someone else with one, click a button, and high tensile wire shoots out to connect to the other's user device," which sounds awesome. "It kind of works on the yogurt pot and string method. Unfortunately, they never went into mass production because all of the accidental garroting. Maybe we need to do an episode on that someday." Then the prayer hotline says, "My late uncle had a hearing aid that looks like a cell phone. My late grandfather was the one who used it originally. Since the person is an old lady that fits in that era, it's most likely a hearing aid." Another commenter counters that theory, though. Says Akron Winkle, "Let's assume for a moment it's a 1924 hearing aid. Who talks into a hearing aid?" Says Big T Law 7377, "Well, if it was someone using a communications device, someone from a different time or world, they would likely not be using our technology and communications infrastructure anyway. The arguments that the infrastructure didn't exist are irrelevant." And then there's the toothache theory, which I had not thought of. From NeoArc13, "The woman is in pain from a toothache. You can tell from the way she holds her face. She wasn't talking. She has her mouth open at the end all the way from the pain. If you have tooth pain, it hurts tremendously. And notice the hat. She can't put her hands on her face easily, so that's why it looks like someone is holding a phone. Try asking someone to wear a hat, and then ask them to hold your face while your teeth hurt. But some people do think that she is holding a cell phone. Roger Daltrey 4428. Wow, thanks for sharing. It really is quite amazing. Sure looks like a cell phone. The footage was actually from 1926, about 60 years before the brick was even invented. And he's wrong. It's from a little bit later. Anyway, little Kuid Fox says, I think what we're missing here is if the person is on a cell phone, that means they're talking to a person with another cell phone. Maybe a house phone, but highly unlikely in this case. Then that means there's another time traveler. Then there's other people who think that she is holding a device, but not tech of that period or of the planet. Says Unbroken 1100. This isn't time travel at all, for anyone knows that time travel doesn't exist, so it must be our alien forebearers. They clothed themselves as someone from that time and made themselves look like an old lady, so people around her would just assume she's muttering to herself instead of talking on some weird device. Some people flag that maybe there's more at play than just a cell phone even, pointing to perhaps a time travel or at least something very suspicious going on with this woman, more generally speaking. Says Tiger's Eye and Toil, the odd thing is she does appear to be talking. Not to the man walking in front of her. She stops and turns while she keeps walking. And it doesn't look like she realizes she's being filmed. She doesn't look at the camera. And it doesn't look like she's talking to a person off camera. To me, her talking seems oddly directed at whatever's in her hand. I do also find it strange how none of her clothes appear to fit right. Says Akron Winkle, I don't know if it's relevant, but those are not the lady's own shoes. Observe that as she walks, most of the front part of her shoes are empty. Her feet are much smaller than her shoes. Can the whole outfit be some sort of disguise? And for what purpose? So this is a large swath of theories that go from hearing aids to different objects of the time to looking at her clothes. Does that change your mind in any way? Are you solid on it's just an object?
Probably the one I like the most is kind of obscuring your face.
Obscuring your
like
face?
Kind of holding like a makeup, like a, I don't know, like a, maybe it's a little clutch. I mean, I don't know what's
a
at the time.
teeny little purse?
And just, like just kind of covering up. I don't know.
You don't like it?
Or just holding something, like just hold, I don't know. Like, I don't, I guess it wouldn't be like, oh, let me just pretend that I'm walking with a cell phone because that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be something.
It's got to be something.
It's got to be something. Well, the plot thickens just a little bit. Not too crazy, but it does. A 2013 Daily Mail article with the lengthy title, deep breath, Is this the world's first cell phone? Film from 1938 shows a woman talking on a wireless device, but it's not time travel, families say to the disappointment of conspiracy theorists. Okay. That piece informed readers that a YouTube account called Planet Check claimed that the woman in the video was Gertrude Jones, the YouTube user's great-grandmother. The article read, quote, but in recent days, a user called Planet Check has come forward claiming to have solved the mystery. Planet Check said, the lady you see is my great-grandmother, Gertrude Jones. She was 17 years old. I asked her about the video and she remembers it quite clearly. She says DuPont had a telephone communications section in the factory. They were experimenting with wireless telephones. Gertrude and 5 other women were given these wireless phones to test out for a week. Gertrude is talking to one of the scientists, holding another wireless phone, who is off to her right as she walks by. So far, there's been no independent verification of Planet Check's post, but another YouTube user who says he knows someone else who worked at the factory has vowed to make further inquiries. So that's even crazier, in my opinion, if they were pioneering some kind of cell phone.
And so a lot of things have to be happening at once.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
1 of 5 people on Earth are testing this very advanced technology.
Mm-hmm.
And that person has to be caught on camera during a very high-profile movie premiere.
Behind a zebra at a Charlie Chaplin movie premiere.
Yes, and that little snippet has to exist and then this person happens to be their great.
Yeah, they have to see this obscure, tiny piece of film that we can't even believe made it out.
So you're showing somebody that's probably born in 15 or something like that. Going, hey, great-great-great-grandma, check out this YouTube video real quick. She's like, yeah, what do you want me to look at?
She's like,
what am I looking at?
She's like, is it an ad?
She's like, is that you? She's like, yeah, that's me. Anyway, I'm 100 years old. But anyway, let me see yeah, that's me. I was just walking and I was
walking and talking.
I was testing advanced technology. I was talking to a scientist
with a couple other women.
Yeah, I was one of 5. I mean, I wasn't the only one. It was just one of 5. So all those things had to have happened.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, great, Grandma. We were trying to figure it out. I'm just going to go post that I have the answer to this." But that's all the info they're going to need. I mean, I could probably provide some more, but they're going to take my word for it.
Yeah, and Daily Mail's like, we will take your word for it.
And it's the Daily Mail, and the Daily Mail only posts
most
vetted, verified stuff.
Absolutely. So this isn't going to surprise you. The user behind Planet Check is still at large and has not provided any further evidence to back this up. I went on Snopes, who is still trying to verify this clip and verify that the person who is Planet Check knew someone in it. But that hasn't happened yet. Will it ever happen?
We don't know if the clip is even authentic.
We know that the clip is authentic to the DVD. We know that it has something to do with the premiere of the movies that Chaplin created. Okay. So we know that it is linked to that.
It wasn't something somebody did was like, oh, yeah, this is some,
No, it's not fake.
Right.
But again, we know that it got thrown on this DVD, supposedly still the premiere. Where it is, at what point, murky. But we don't know that this is anyone's great-great-grandmother. And will we ever know? I don't think so.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.